Cowboy Nation. Another Garrett, appreciate you, fam. All right, so this team loses, take a big L on a Thursday, Thanksgiving. I hope that everybody enjoyed your meal before the game. That's the only way I can ask you, because I know you're enjoying it now. I know you're not enjoying it during the game. I told everybody that you're going to be at the edge of your seat, and I deserve an apology from some Cowboys fans, because they were saying that, Law, you giving up on this team going to go on a run, we're just going to beat everybody, we're going to mollywop everybody, and I'm sitting there like, man, you don't understand football if you think that's going to happen. Based on the historical data, we knew that this was going to happen. Based on the evidence for the past 9 to 10 years, we knew that this was going to happen. But I will say this, based upon what we saw in the first half, we got to put a little bit on the quarterback as well. Dak Prescott didn't play a supreme good game. He looked timid. He didn't look like he was focused enough. Some of the passes were short. He passed an interception. He targeted Jason Witten too many times, in my opinion. He wasn't aggressive. It looks like he took on the identity and the personality of Jason Garrett, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. Playing so doggone conservative. It makes me want to just go to the store and buy me a fifth of hen right now. Because at this point, at this reality of it right now, if you look at this team, we are who our record is. And what the great Bill Parcells said, he said this. Bill Parcells said, hey, you want to judge a team right when they play around November. And right now we can't continue to establish drives. And that's the reality. A lot of people want me to lie to kick it. A lot of people want me to say sunshines and rainbows. A lot of people want me to go around here and say the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl every year. But the reality of it, when you understand and know football, it doesn't work that way. When we look at the total team, now this team, on both sides of the ball, the defense looked porous at times, and as well as finally when we saw something from Ezekiel Elliott, when we saw something from him, we finally didn't continue to win in those individual battles, because we get into the money zone, green zone, or the period zone, whatever you want to call it, gold zone, green zone. We just don't know how to capitalize. We don't. We are a direct replicate of what Jimmy Johnson had to say about this team. Turn to First Thing First early this morning. Check out Jimmy Johnson, the last person who ever won the Super Bowl for us, collectively with his group of guys outside of Barry Switzer. Look at what he said. I want you guys to repeat it, watch it by 50 million times so you can understand where this team is going. Because he said that, hey, when we lose on the plane, I don't give them food. Know why? I want them to feel their pain, at least with hunger. Because you want to be able to establish the presence of mind that we do not deserve to lose. And this is even when he had a winning season, even when he had a winning record. Jimmy Johnson said, I'm not even going to give my players food. We don't have that mentality in Big D. And he said with the group of guys that we have now, quite possibly, this should be a Super Bowl caliber team. However, people like for me to lie to kick it. People want me to say, hey, don't worry about this game. No, don't worry. Just relax. Just pump the brakes. You'll be supporting this team next week when we beat this team. Oh, we'll be supporting this team when we beat the Bills. Who are the Bills? They haven't played anybody. You see, the Bills ran up the field on us. And they downed it back towards the end, you see. Let me read some of your comments, man. Shout out to you all that's here. Dave, what's good with you, man? Really appreciate you. Ernesto, shout out to you. Meteorocracy, that's what they saying on my Facebook deal. Big Rob, what's good with you, fam? Jamal, what's good, baby? Yeah, we live like 95. We're going to tune in to 105.3 The Fan as well. Listen to what they have to say. I had this team going 10-6, believe it or not. So that means they're going to win the rest of the games, right? I said all of this to say, but I had them going 10-6 a couple of weeks ago before the season started. I said we're going to go 10-6. So in order for me to be right, I guess, we had to win out. But here's the thing, and I'm going to let you guys know. Law Nation is not a guy that go around running around saying, hey, I always want to be right. As a man, I sometimes will let you guys know this. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. I let you all know when I'm wrong, I just admit that I'm wrong. I will admit it that I'm wrong. I'm never a person that always like to stand high and say I'm never wrong. There's some things in life that you're going to be wrong on. And this is 9 times out of 10 from a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that go out here spitting and talking this stuff, and even on the Facebook panel and everywhere around the world. A lot of people just fail to admit that they're wrong. Collectively, a lot of people are scared to be wrong in a lot of situations. And some people just never hit that record button. So what I'm saying is that if you want to formulate your thoughts, if you want to put your opinions out there to the universe, don't be afraid to be wrong, because in this line of business, because I'm not out there calling the plays, I'm not there coaching, I'm not in the locker room, I'm not out there seeing what they are doing. And when I brought up the aspect when Jason Garrett does not use analytics, in-game analytics, I can tell you right now, shout out to you all, shout out to you, man, that's on my Facebook deal, man. Joshua, man, really appreciate you. Jonathan too. When he said he don't use in-game analytics, I guarantee you it could have worked today. He could have worked today. And shout out to my boy, my brother from another mother. Although I couldn't stand him running up all them talking games. One thing I can say about number 10, Cole Beasley on the opposite team, the opposing team, the dude was doing all of that talking about, hey, the workout facility, the water don't taste that bad. Hey, the weather is not that cold out here in Buffalo land. Hey, he showed up tonight. Only one person could stop him, and that was the quarterback, right? Because it looked like he was just finding space and opportunity. After play, after play, after play. And even Tony Romo was shooting out some low jabs at our Cowboys on this Thursday night. It's crazy. Let's see what 105.3 The Fan have to say.
Yeah, you go into the locker room at the end of the first half with one timeout in your back pocket, you ran out of time, and then you miss a field goal. You're -2 in the turnover ratio. They've now gone 4 consecutive games without accumulating a turnover. Just in every capacity, every way. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching.
Yeah, that's
Bills.
And I just continue to want to say that going into this game, we felt like that the Bills were going to be a tough team to have to deal with. Right. I felt like, though, that Dallas would be able to move the football and finish some drives, though. And the first drive, they made me absolutely look like a genius. And then as the game wore on, though,
slow start.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job of blocking, of handling the pressure up front. It wasn't that the Bills were blitzing a bunch like that. Ed Oliver, we were talking to Murph, the play-by-play, guy, John Murph, for the game, and he's like, well, Ed Oliver, he needs to kind of grow up a little bit. He's not really playing. Well, look what he was able to. Shaq Lawson, all
absolutely
those
dominated.
Yeah, and then this is what you're talking about. The strength of your team is this offensive line, or you appear to think that's the strength of your team. And then they got manhandled the way they did up front, though. And, Dak Prescott having to run around, having to throw the scramble routes, having to do, just not good enough to play the winning football that they needed to play in order to make this game, to get it into that win column.
Today's game between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium was brought to you by Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are still 6-6. We know the situation with the NFC East. The Eagles play the Dolphins at 5-6 this week, and
Week count 16. On them being 6-6, right. I guess. Unless the Eagles are just really bad too.
Them Dolphins, man. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to look like this weekend, but we'll see.
A partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How we doing, guys?
Oh, shit. You always say, how you doing, guys? That's just, man. Why I had to come back now?
Everyone was disappointed. Unfortunately, we didn't do enough to win the ball game today, and everyone put so much into it when he didn't get the job done.
You started off really well with the touchdown on the first drive, and it seemed like things kind of went downhill from there. What happened after the first drive, really?
How you doing, guys?
There were a lot of different things that happened throughout the ball game. I do think it was a good start for us, going down and scoring a touchdown at the outset of the game. Offensively, I thought we had too many drives where we were able to drive the ball and we didn't cash in. Had a couple missed field goals, and later on in the game we weren't able to convert a fourth down in there close. The 2 turnovers obviously hurt us, gave them favorable field position. Thought the defense did a good job responding for the most part in those situations, but you can't do that against a team like this. We found some things that we like. We were able to move the ball at different times, but certainly weren't efficient enough to cash in on the drives like we needed to. On the defensive side of the ball, they did a good job. They ran the ball fairly consistently. Their quarterback did a really good job, delivering throws in critical moments and also running with the ball, keeping their drives alive. And they did a better job cashing in on their drives than we did.
With everything that was on the line today, you should probably.
Yeah, appreciate you for the
Garrett had Doc trying to throw for too much. He did Romo the same way Jason Garrett ego killed us.
And, again, when you play a team like this, you got to cash in on your drives. You can't lose the turnover battle 2-0. And, give them credit. They did a really nice job. We didn't do a good enough job, and we have to learn from it and move on.
At the end of the third quarter, you had a play there on fourth down. Just your thoughts on that play. Dak was incomplete to Zeke on the throw.
Oh, my goodness. That play.
Yeah, we're down in there close. Went forward in that situation. We just felt like that was the right thing to do, to try to score a touchdown. They heated us up, and, I think we had a decent opportunity. Have to look at it on tape. Obviously, we weren't able to complete the ball out on that left flat. And so, unfortunately, we didn't execute that particular play and finish the drive the way we wanted to.
On the 2 missed field goals by Maher, did you see anything about his mechanics different today?
Yeah, we'll have to look at that on tape.
First half, what was your thoughts on the thought process going down? He had like a timeout left and he didn't use it. What was your thoughts there, just trying to get things going?
Yeah, it was a third down situation, and we wanted to bleed the clock. And once we converted the third down, I think there were 40 or so seconds left. That's when we're going to use our timeouts. So we used it in those situations. Having the timeouts allows you to complete the ball inside, but I'll have to go back specifically and look at the plays. But I think we had incompletes. We had balls that went out of bounds. So ultimately, we weren't able to use the timeout relative to the time left in the half there. So had a good opportunity there. It was a good drive, and unfortunately, we didn't make the kick.
Do you believe you and your staff have the trust and faith of your players after what's transpired at being 6-6 and with 4 games to go?
Oh, absolutely. Our guys come to work. Our guys, we have a fantastic group of guys, and they do things the right way each day. And unfortunately, we didn't get the job done today.
What's your thoughts on how Dak played today? It looked like he missed a couple of throws at times and had a touchdown.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and look at the tape, on Dak and really everybody on our team. Again, at times I thought we moved the ball well, and the biggest issue was not really cashing in on those drives consistently enough in the game. And when you come away with goose eggs on those drives against a good team like this, it's going to hurt you in the end. And then that's on everybody, and we got to do a better job in those situations.
What was the
How you doing, Sandy? Appreciate you. Thank you for showing the love on Facebook.
Early on? Yeah, just, once it became inches, we just felt like we could make that and try to keep that drive alive.
How do you recover from this? It's 6 losses now in the last 9 games.
Yeah, you just got to get back to work. That's the nature of the National Football League. It's hard every week. You're going to deal with adversities over the course of the year. You're going to deal with successes over the course of the year, and you have to learn from them and move on and get ready for the next challenge.
Are you seeing a passion throughout the game with your guys?
Yeah, again, I thought our guys played hard. We didn't play well enough. They did a good job in critical moments, converting some third downs and keeping their drives alive.
Right, Mr. Truck.
With some short passes or a quarterback run here or there. And again, offensively, I thought we moved the ball, fairly well throughout the game, but we didn't get enough for those drives. And to me, ultimately that was the story of the game. And when you have those 2 turnovers where we get nothing on the drive and they get favorable field position, that's what these games come down to. So we'll go back and look at it. We'll go back and try to learn from and try to get better from this experience today.
Do you know at this point the seriousness of Connor Williams' knee injury?
Connor hurt his knee, and then he went back in, and then he hurt it again. So we don't know the seriousness of it yet, but he was not able to come back into the ball game after he hurt it the second time.
Do you need a new kicker?
We'll evaluate the kicking situation. We need to make those kicks. Brett's done a really good job for us over the course of his time here, but we'll evaluate that situation just like we'll evaluate everything else.
Your thoughts on how your pass rush was tonight? I mean, he was a mobile guy, but what you think?
Yeah, the pass rush is a challenge against a quarterback like this because, oftentimes you sell out and you get deep in the rush, and that creates lanes for him. So the challenge is to be able to restrict those lanes by having good rush discipline, and sometimes that prevents you from rushing as freely as you need to. But that's one of the challenges with a quarterback like this. He's a good quarterback throwing the ball from the pocket, and he's really good when he gets out on the move. And so we knew that going in, and you try to do different things to combat that. But, he was able to get out too many times in this ball game.
Knowing what he brought to the table, were you surprised at all at Cole Beasley's performance for the Bills today?
Oh, Beasley's a good player. Beasley's a really good player for us, and he's done a good job for them all year long, and we understand the challenges of him. It's good to see him doing as well as he has.
This is 5 games you've not beaten a team with a winning record. Does that matter?
Yeah, the biggest thing we try to do is focus on ourselves and see what we can do to get better. Obviously, we're trying to win every ball game, regardless of who we play. And the big thing we have to do is learn from this experience and grow and get ready for the next challenge. It'll be here before you know it.
Where do you start? What's the element that you start on to improve this right now and get it going?
Well, I think there's every aspect of it. Offensively, like we talked about, we didn't cash in consistently enough on the drives. Defensively, I don't think we stopped the run as well as we needed to. The quarterback got out a couple times. They made some third downs. I think we did some good things on defense that you can build on, but it certainly wasn't consistent enough. Different things on special teams we have to make sure we continue to focus on, and that's what we'll do, and we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Is it a little frustrating because you had such a good first drive because we had talked all long season about getting off to a good start, and now you get that, and then the rest of the way you just can't finish them the way you have been? Is that frustrating?
Yeah, again, that's obviously what you're trying to do. You're trying to drive the ball and score points, and we did a good job of that on the first drive. And as the game wore on, we didn't do that consistently well enough. And we came away on 3 different drives where we had real good scoring opportunities, and we didn't cash in on those. And then you add the 2 turnovers into that, and that's a big part of the story on the offensive side of the ball.
We heard guys, as we were standing outside the locker room, some screaming and yelling about some frustration. Have you been around a locker room that's been as frustrated after a loss like this one?
Well, guys are passionate about our football team. Guys put a lot into this, and they work very hard every day. And obviously, you want to win ball games. And unfortunately, we didn't get that done today. And we'll channel that passion in the right direction and get ready for the next challenge.
Thanks, guys.
All right, good to see you guys.
All right.
And that's Jason Garrett on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. The Cowboys are 6-6. They fall on Thanksgiving 26-15. Brian Broaddus, Ari Tepke with you in the Miller Lite Club, and the postgame show is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. How much of this falls in Jason Garrett? What did Jerry Jones have to say about Jason Garrett's job status? That's next. Dallas Cowboys football will continue.
All right, so I want to hear what Jerry Jones had to say. Now, before the game, on his pregame talk, he said that Jason Garrett is the mastermind of a coach. So he's the mastery of mind. So I don't know. I don't know if this is like a little motivational pep talk or prep talk or however you want to call it to Jason Garrett. My thing is, did he do a horrible job in the first series? No. Did he do a horrible job throughout this game? I would really say that he didn't really do that bad this game. Really, real talk. What he did bad in collectively was with the decisions. And it takes a few games. It just what he did bad with on this game was the overall mentality. And I don't know how to separate coaching from mentality. That's my issue with Jason Garrett. I love him as a person, you see, but I don't love the mentality. I think that his mentality, the mood, the thing that he tried to elevate and pump players up with is just silent right now. And I don't know what to do with it. I just don't know. Bob Money, shout out to you, man. Your 49ers, y'all doing a great job this year. Shout out to Bob Money. He's been following the page for a long time. Although he root and support the 49ers, I give everybody a chance and opportunity to follow this page regardless of if they love the Cowboys or not. But shout out to Bob Money. We'll see what you guys going to do this weekend against Lamar Jackson. I'll be looking at that game, and you keep that energy too. All right, so, man, let me see what you guys got to say, man. Hopefully a new coach tomorrow. This is Josh. My thing is, with a new coach, it probably bring in the different mentality. Because right now the mentality is to be soft. The mentality is to be conservative. Remember, I'm sitting there looking at this team, and the way we're moving the ball down the field is so conservative. Right before the half, all you had to do is at least attempt to throw the ball into the end zone. I don't know what the mentality of the Dallas Cowboys collectively are, but I can tell you right now that it's time for a change. It is. And shout out to you, Andrea, man. Really appreciate you for tuning in on the Facebook panel, and Terrence Jones, man. Really appreciate you. I'm mad and disgusted. I'm tired. Same old boring Cowboys. They make me want to drink. And this is from Mike Robinson. If you do drink, I'm not telling you to go drink, but if you do drink, pull up that hen. Let's pull up that. Groovy 3000. What's good, man? Go on and push him off the bridge, man. True about Jason Garrett. Truth about Jason Garrett, man. Kelly Moore. A lot of people putting fire at Kelly Moore. How y'all feel about this defense? How y'all feel about this defense? How you guys feel about this offense when we do get into the money zone, green zone? How do you guys feel about Dak Prescott? How you all feel about Ezekiel Elliott? How do you all feel about all of the other players, the offensive line? And also with the Connor Williams injury situation, I think that he was more so embarrassed that he got the false start, and that's why he limped off, you see, with Connor Williams. Hopefully he's going to be okay, but my thing is, if you know you're not 100%, well, you can't be 100%. It's halfway through the season. But if you know you're not ready, don't get out there and try to be ready. Don't be out there showing and faking the funk. If you're not ready, sit your butt on the bench. Don't be trying to get out there and haphazardly try to go against this front four. Star Latuale was throwing people, moving furniture out the way. You see, boy, it was crazy. Let me see what we have right here. Let's see if they're back live.
Jerry Jones after this game. Shereen Williams tweets, Jerry said changing coaches would give them zero chance to make the postseason. John Machota of The Athletic tweets, Jerry Jones is emotional while talking to reporters, tears in his eyes. I'm not going to make a coaching change. Jones said he still believes this team can make a deep playoff run. He said they have zero chance of doing that without Jason Garrett. Do you agree?
Well, he's gone completely opposite of what happened last week, and I thought that's what he was going to try and do and balance some things up. Yeah, you talk about the emotion of it all. But you know what? He now realizes that he's a general manager of a team that's not very good. That's really the reality of things. We talk about the teams you have to beat. You have to this time of year. Right. Bill Parcells always used to say this when I was working with him. He would say, "Hey, you'll know about your team in Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving, you should know what your football team is." And this is not a very good football team. This is not a football team that's capable of doing what they need to do to finish games, control games, win games. I mean, they've had all kinds of opportunities to close people out all year long, and they haven't. They haven't been able to be consistent enough offensively. They haven't been consistent enough. You know, you could talk about all the numbers and stuff like that, but they don't finish drives. You know, they get an opportunity, they get down there, they don't finish drives. And then defensively, you know, and then there's a lot of people that are just piling on about, well, hey, you guys were saying this defense was this defense. I'll take the blame. Absolutely. If you feel it makes you feel better to blame me for excuses, saying, this team with the secondary, the linebackers, the defensive line, they could do some really nice things. Out today, be a really good scoring defense. Hey, if it makes you feel better, bring it on. I have no problem with that. But this is not a very good football team. They're not very good special teams-wise. They're not very good defensively. And offensively, they don't finish enough drives and score points, and ultimately they lose games.
Do you believe Jerry Jones? Does this team have zero chance to make the postseason with Jason Garrett gone? Or, I mean, do you think they have a better chance, worse chance of making the playoffs with Garrett gone? And even furthermore, does that matter? Do they have a chance to go far in the playoffs?
I just think Jerry Jones is going to let this thing ride. You know, if it ends up to where it's 6-10, or if it's 8-8, 9-7, whatever it's going to be, I think he's just going to let this thing ride. He knows that, you know what, I've come this far with it. I don't think there's anything he feels like that changing the coach would drastically make his team better. I really don't.
Can you light a fire in that locker room by doing something like that?
If you can't watch this tape, and Garrett kept talking about it, if you can't watch this tape as a player and say, my effort wasn't very good here, my finish wasn't very good here, my playing ability I wasn't prepared enough, I made mistakes. If you can't watch that and think that about yourself, firing the coach is not going to do any good. Firing the coach, he can do that, and the next thing you know, those players could say, you know what, if he's going to fire the coach, well, you know what, this season's lost anyway.
Is an execution issue a Monday through Friday thing? If you don't execute on Sunday, is it about a lack of preparation throughout the week?
Absolutely. It's about studying. It's about all the things. It's about getting into your book. It's about studying the game plan. There's guys that do a tremendous job in that locker room of doing that. Is there enough guys, though? But the problem is, though, when you get in these situations and you have to make plays, they don't make enough plays. That's the biggest problem. I think you could scheme this thing up all you want. You could throw the pass to Ezekiel Elliott in the flat there on 4th down, but if the pass is short and all that, boom, it's not going to work.
Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin, Dallas Cowboys postgame show. We'll hear from Dak Prescott coming up. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
All right, so while they go into commercial break, I want to break down this right quick with the execution analogy. You can try to execute Monday through Saturday, and you can say, man, my team is executing, they're doing the right thing. You can draw up a play, just like I use this analogy, and I have yet to find anybody who could out-debate me, and they are welcome. I got a $100 cash app right now ready for them on the table. If I draw up a play for Shaquille O'Neal to shoot a 3, and he's draining them, and he's shooting out there in the perimeter every day in practice, and I'm sitting there like, man, Shaquille O'Neal, man, he's doing this thing. And I'm sitting there drawing up the play, and he's just draining 3s. Or, that's kind of far-fetched, but I'm drawing up the plays, and it's up to him to execute it, right? So we get to the game time, and it's dang on game time, and he's not dropping none of them. Am I, as the coach, is this the player's fault? Is he not using his ability to shoot or hit that 3? Or is it the coaching fault to identify his skill set and his talent? Let me know, Cowboy Nation. Put that down in the chat box. Is it the fact that Shaquille O'Neal just can't shoot the 3? Or is it the simple fact that he can't execute that particular play? Is it based upon the coaching decision to continue to have him to play on the perimeter when you know that he's a dominant big beast inside? That goes to the mentality and the understanding of the skill set of the player, and also understanding the skill set from the coaching to the player. You got to be able to elevate Shaq and understand that Shaquille O'Neal, his dominant trait or his dominant suit is not playing outside in the perimeter. You got to put him low post. You got to play him down deep inside. You cannot think that you're going to get multiple scores or multiple points from Shaquille O'Neal on the perimeter. That is the analogy that I'm using, and I have yet to find somebody with a living soul with breath in their body to out-debate me on that topic. You can't sit here and say for over years and years and years that the players are not executing when, therefore, you, the head coach, are not putting the players in the right position to score. You got to be able to score. You got to understand the traits and the understanding of your team. What can allow your team to score? And what I'm saying is, with Dallas Cowboys for the last 10 years, we have tons of talent. We had T.O., we had a Roy Williams, who we gave up draft picks for. We had a guy that can catch balls from everywhere, Jason Witten, who's still on this team. We have multiple guys. Michael Bennett, who went off to another team, Martellus Bennett, whatever you want to call him, Martellus Bennett, who went off to another team to win a Super Bowl. We have talent. DeMarcus Ware, who went off to another team to win Super Bowl. So you can look at this team and say, hey, we had the talent. DeMarco Murray, Desmond Bryant, for crying out loud. We have the talent. We just didn't have to put the pieces in places in order for us to execute the score with the actual knowledge of the game. We took a developmental coach and we tried to develop him. We waited for years and said, hey, maybe, just maybe, he going to turn the corner this year. Oh, it's not his fault. Maybe if we can put pieces around him, maybe he can understand this person. Oh, man, you got another donation to help grow the nation, man. I bring it. Go ahead. Go ahead, AI, man. Slow me down a little bit.
Dallas mediocrity. Last year, 7 won games by 7 or less. This year, losing 5 games by 7 or less. Average.
Yeah. Ricky Rodriguez, $100 right now. You call in or you create you a YouTube page and you debate me. $100 right on the table. You can put money in your pockets. Maybe you can eat something for this Christmas. I'm telling you, you can't look at this game and say, hey, the team that's surrounded by the Dallas Cowboys now are 6-6 by the talent that we have. And you can't look at coaches and say, hey, oh, this is the players' fault that they're 6-6? Huh? Make your YouTube page right now and put up a couple of videos and come back and talk to me, Rodriguez. Alida la raza, mucho elegante. If you can understand what I'm saying.
I have got to make this change to win the division. Then that's going to be a real turn or a real change in attitude about that.
What are the goals of this football team this season?
Oh, it was to get to the Super Bowl. It's always the goal to go to win to the Super Bowl. And we, or if you want, again, you want to blame me for talking about this on DallasCowboys.com when I was over there, talking about how good this team was, talking about this defense, talking about the talent and all. That's fine, because they're not playing like a good defense. They're not playing like a good offense right now. They're not playing like a good special teams. So that's where I know I missed the evaluation. That's where I know I missed the evaluation of this football team. And I'm sure Jerry Jones has had Will McClay and those scouts are looking at their team, and he heard the same thing, that, hey, we're pretty good here. We're pretty good here. We're really good here. We got a top 5 player here. We got a top 5 player here. They're not playing like top 5 players. That is the absolute problem with this football team right now.
Before the season started, at the beginning of the offseason, at the Senior Bowl and whatnot, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones both said this team has to go further this year than they've been, which is the NFC Championship game. Jerry this week talking about only one winner. This team might make the playoffs, but what I've seen in the first 12 games of this season, as this team falls to 6-6, this is not a team that is getting to the NFC Championship game. This is not a team that's winning a Super Bowl.
So you're saying go ahead and get rid of the coach now and just and just bite the bullet there and see if
finish it out.
Chris Richard or any who we don't
I
know
believe
who would
we
be
had
the
that
interim
coach, and his name was Bill Parcells, and the OC was Sean Payton.
It's justified in
if
firing
Jerry would
Jason
have
Garrett
kept Parcells, things would be different.
I think.
Is it because the team is a team? And I'm not defending Jason Garrett. I'm just asking you this question.
And I think your point, where you're standing on this is completely unreasonable. I mean, it's completely. There are people that are just fire him without question.
Right.
Your vantage point is completely reasonable.
No. My vantage point is, though, I don't see it getting any better because Jason Garrett doesn't play. He's the one, though. Ultimately, though, he's the one in charge of the team and the game plans and all that stuff with the staff and directing. He is the head of the organization, and from the coaching aspect and how the team is prepped every week.
But I do think that prep is what leads to a lack of execution.
Why are we scared to get on the players here? I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, though, it's real easy for the fans to just say, fire the coach, because they don't know what's going on with the players.
Dak Prescott was with just a horrible throw to Zeke Elliott on a 4th down
Absolutely.
play. That's a horrible throw by your quarterback who wants $40 million a year.
So you're saying
on a 4th down. That's a horrible throw.
You're absolutely right, and that's what I'm saying. Though
you have dropped passes consistently throughout this game.
Sure.
Yes.
How about tackling? How about getting guys on the ground? How about the opportunity there on 4th and 1, the ball's on the ground and you don't fall on it? How about some turnovers? How about something?
Now 4 straight games without a turnover. This is a team.
How about not missing field goals from 35 yards?
Made plays to win football games when their coach was backed against the wall.
Yeah. I'm not trying to defend Jason Garrett here at all. I mean, because trust me, you guys are way behind
They're
me.
6-6 and still in the driver's seat for the division, bro. Your point is very well stated.
I'm the guy like 3 years ago that was trying to fire him when everybody else was, whoa, Broadish, you're a little strong. So
true.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to take the Jerry Jones front office approach here.
If they lose next Thursday against the Bears,
we shouldn't pick them anymore. I shouldn't pick them anymore. How do you trust them?
Right.
How do you trust them to go out there and play?
The Bears are 6-6. They might have one of the worst offenses in football, but they've got a good So, would it be different if they go to Soldier Field next week and lose?
Oh no, if you lose next week, then to me, I don't know what Philadelphia. I mean, I think Philadelphia's a bad football team.
They are.
I think Philadelphia's a bad team. Philadelphia's trying to keep you in this thing. See, that's why I don't think he's going to make the change, because he's still thinking about, okay, I can win this division. I might win this division at 8-8. I might win this division at 9-7. You
don't think he will make the change?
I personally don't.
Do you think he should?
I thought he should 3 years ago. You're asking me a question that if I was on your post-game show 3 years ago, I'd have said, yes, absolutely, they should get rid of him.
But not today?
Oh, I know. I think,
see this out.
I don't know how better it's going to get. The players are the one ultimately that are not doing the job here. Ultimately, it's not. It's the players aren't doing the job. They're not executing well enough. That's the biggest. If you're going to tell me that firing the head coach is going to make the players execute better, I'm all for it. But I don't know. You watched this game today. You saw what happened. You saw how they reacted. I mean, we're about to have on Brad Sham. He's going to talk about how tired this team looks and all that stuff like that. They just got physically beat up.
You said that in the second half. I believe you said that as we're watching this game on stretch. They just looked tired.
Yeah.
Was that you or Brad? I can't remember.
Brad. Brad said that in the broadcast.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brad Sham
I'm stealing Brad's quotes from.
Yeah.
But here's the thing where Brian Broaddus is saying, okay, So he's saying that it's the players' fault, basically, from what he just made his assessment from. But last week it was the coaching. So now we somewhere lukewarm with Brian Broaddus. So my thing is with this collectively, Mr. Brian Broaddus, if you look at this team and you say it's the players, and then Jimmy Johnson said this morning that this team can go all the way with the Super Bowl with the players that they got. Jimmy Johnson said that. Now, I'm not the brightest man in the world, but I do know that Jimmy Johnson do got him multiple Super Bowls. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. If we just remove all of these players from the team now and insert different players, do you guys think that we would have the same results? Because this is the exact same team that we had in 2016 minus a few players, right? The same team that we had last year minus a few players. But I digress. Well, we can look at this thing and say to ourselves that it's been 10 years. Even when you had, a Pro Bowl-ish type of quarterback for 14 years named Tony Romo, we've been experiencing the same type of results. Remember, everybody got reasonings, but results are what matter. In life, you don't become successful by mistake. You become successful by maintaining consistency levels of winning and securing things in life. Now, you guys can listen to whatever you want to listen to, but I'm telling you guys the real deal, Holyfield, the truth of the matter. But it is what it is. Let's listen back to what they got to say.
Sunday, and then they've got to come in on Monday and work. Now, it happens every year. Teams do it. It's not an excuse, but it's a fact. And that could have something to do with the way they looked in the second half. I don't think that they are that bad. But they were that bad today. When you see the quarterback, he made a horrible decision on the interception. The throw to Elliott on fourth down was...
Jerry Jones, please swallow your pride and cough.
He didn't do that when he was competing with Jamel Showers to be the third-string quarterback.
Right.
And there were other throws. If you go back, and Brian Broaddus will do this later because it's what he does, you'll go back and look at the tape and see throws he missed that were big plays that were open. He just wasn't really sharp. His statistics were great. And with all that being said...
All right, it's Dak Prescott fault, y'all.
The two field goals are backbreakers.
Let's just get rid of Dak.
They're going to be...
It changes the decision-making down the stretch where you have to go for it.
It changes the mentality. It changes the mentality of the game, the way you feel. You get you're one score behind going in the dressing room, or you're one score behind
It was two
early in the game when he
consecutive
missed
possessions, basically. The last drive to go to halftime and first drive in the third quarter.
And they had turnovers on consecutive possessions in the first half. So all that stuff happened. Then they come out, and the Bills just marched it down their throats.
Right.
And from that point, it looked to me like they were tired. It looked like a tired team that couldn't keep up with what I think is a really good team. That's not an excuse.
No.
Buffalo's better today. Now what has to happen is that they have to go try to win a game in Chicago. They're 6-6. Philadelphia is 6-6. And, all of that stuff happens. The season's not over. I think Dak Prescott's getting ready to get up on the podium. Is that right?
Yeah, he's looking at us before he goes up to the podium.
Brad Sham, Brian
Let's
Broaddus,
listen
Ari
to
Temkin,
Dak Prescott.
Show, and here is
Brad Sham want to get rid of him. Broaddus want to get rid of him. Let's get rid of Dak. Let's just get rid of Dak. Keep Jason Garrett.
Kind of started going downhill from there. What happened after that first drive?
We started off fast. Something different than we've been doing, but weren't able to keep it up. Weren't able to get it going. We ended too many drives without points. Simple as that. It begins with the offense, converting in the red zone, getting touchdowns, and
for not team is built to win.
We weren't able to do that.
But
I think it starts there. Once you get behind like that, that's a good football team we played. We got behind, and they controlled the clock, and they did what they had to do. And
we heard a lot of screaming and a lot of hollering in the locker room. Just talk about the emotions in the locker room after the game and what the guys were feeling.
Yeah, emotion in the locker room. Just an exchange of words about us sticking together. Anything and everything outside of that locker room doesn't matter.
I'm not saying he's the ultimate reason we lost. But he
for those guys in the locker room.
Some throws.
There's still belief that you can.
100%. There's no belief has been lost. No confidence has been lost. This is simply execution, and it's on players. And that's kind of what that conversation was. Credit the leaders, credit Michael Bennett, those guys that started that. It was a great conversation. A lot of great words. past, but it's just all about us executing and just getting the job done, and starts throughout the week about us doing things better.
Jerry said his message to y'all is go write a hell of a story now. Why do y'all think you can do that, and what will it take to do that?
We know we can do that because we control our destiny. We control the work that we put in. We control how we approach each and every day. We control the way that we prepare to get ready for these games. And I've so much confidence in the men in that locker room, the character that they have. And I wouldn't want to be in this position with anybody else except those men. And so confident in what we're going to do.
With all due respect, just as a devil's advocate, why hasn't that happened yet? I mean,
it will happen.
What gives you the confidence that you guys can get going and get to the postseason?
Yeah, I just said it. The character of the men in there. Been through so much with those guys, on ups and downs, on the field, off the field. When you're a part of this organization, there's a lot of stuff outside noise, and we've got a group that's able to lock arms and forget all that and ignore all that and just focus on what's most important. And right now, it's about tomorrow. It's about how do we get in, clean this game up, get our workouts in, get better, and just know that we've got to flip that mindset and that mentality to be our best in every single rep and every single thing that we do, and it's going to pay off going forward.
How would you assess how you played today?
Not good enough. Simple as that. Turnovers. Just mishaps. Can't do that.
On the throw to Zeke at the end of the third, what happened there with you? Did you lose the ball, or just a bad throw?
Just a bad throw. One of those. My eyes weren't on Zeke. I was looking at the defenders, and then try to get it to Zeke real fast because I was seeing what the defense was doing, and just didn't find Zeke and just kind of flipped it out there. Feet were bad, and it was just a bad play by me. Simple as that. Hurt the team.
Yeah, he did. At least he owned it.
Dak, they blitzed a lot. Did you expect that, or was there something different they did in this game?
I wouldn't say it's something too much different. They didn't do any new blitzes or any blitzes that we didn't know that we haven't seen on film. They did do it a lot, but we were ready for them. Just didn't make them pay.
Hey, Dak, last week after you guys lost, Jerry was critical of the coaching staff. Today, he was supportive and adamant about not making a change and feeling like you have no chance to do what you still want to do were he to fire Jason. How do you feel about the support of the owner in this situation compared to that being lacking last week?
Yeah, he understands it. He understands that that we need everybody in that locker room, players, coaches, everybody that's a part of it to get to where we want to be. And when you have that, it gives you a lot of confidence. And I said it earlier, and I'll continue to say it. It's on us. It's on us as players to lock in and just be better. Simple as that. Be better in everything that we do with the help of the coaches.
Dad, what is it about the struggles against good teams? The Cowboys haven't been able to beat teams with these winning records.
Yeah, if I had that answer, we wouldn't be in this position.
The drive ended in a punt, but can you talk about that 4th and 1 play in the beginning of the second quarter?
Yeah, it was QB sneak. At that point, it was just thought I may have gotten it on that run. Obviously, I didn't. And Coach asked, I want to go for it. I said, of course. Just give it to me. Quarterback sneak, and offensive line did a great job and went and got what was needed.
Were you surprised he asked you if you wanted to go for it?
Not at all.
How come? It's not like y'all go for it on that part of the field very often.
Just wasn't. It was one of those games. It's one of those positions. You just got to be aggressive, and you got to go for it, and I'm glad we did.
Jason's catching a lot of heat for what's gone on so far with this team being 6-6. What does he do best that he'll help you guys turn this thing around?
A lot. He's somebody that approaches each and every day with the same mindset, with the same mentality, and that's what you need in this league. You can't get too up, you can't get too down. You have to stay the same, and what he gives to this team,
49 passes.
the energy, the focus level,
and the
we're thankful for him. We're definitely thankful for him.
The team was tired for Lennon up back-to-back even Doc.
Cole Beasley had a big game in his first game back here. Did you have a chance to talk to him after the game, and what'd you say?
Yeah, for sure. Just congrats. He knew I wasn't happy about it, but told him congrats. Wished him love. That's a brother. So we've talked every week throughout the season. We'll continue to do that. It's much bigger than football.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Here's Dak Prescott on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Ari Temkin and Brian brought us in the Miller Lite Club with Brad Sham.
Hey, Brad, when you talked about the team and being tired and all, and I get that and understand.
Looking tired.
How do you change? Okay, everybody's talked about changing the coach, but change this, change it. What could you change? Is there anything that they can change to help them get over. I mean, Dak was asked. They asked him a bunch of questions, and I was just curious. Ari and I were having discussions about the coach, but what could you change?
You're talking about like for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season, right.
Fourth quarter of the season?
Yeah.
I mean, people don't want to hear it, but I happen to agree with Dak. The players have to play better.
That's kind of the approach I'd take.
I mean, I know they're prepared, and most of them are playing hard. The offense was not good today. It was not productive. The numbers will lie to you. I mean,
Marinelli's scheme
Zeke
in the
had
run game
56
is
yards rushing in the first
LBs,
half, and then the
forces them
game
to
got
blitz
away, and they
more
never had a chance to get in the
than
offense,
they
so you couldn't
should.
run
Our
anymore.
secondary should
and
not
Dak
play
had
cover
some really
3.
nice numbers, but when you turn the ball over twice in a row
Appreciate
and then
the
you miss
donation,
field
man.
goals, and
Really appreciate it.
good luck changing kickers right now if that's what you
Sure.
think you want to do. You
Sure.
know better than anybody else listening.
Yeah.
As a personnel guy, what kicker are you going to find if you don't like this one in December?
Yeah, this personnel board
Right?
looks really bad right now.
Yeah,
isn't it?
so
Yeah.
so the players are going to have to play better, and I would say particularly
Somebody
on
lied
defense.
to
Right.
my
I think
guy,
that
man.
the difference makers need to make differences,
Brad Sham.
and
Come
they
on,
need to be
man. That's a
fundamentally
sham right
assignment sound, front to back, across the board.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay, boy.
Man, come on.
You too, as well.
Talk to you next Thursday.
Sounds good.
Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys. Post-game show brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
They finna go into commercial break, man, but let me just break this down, man. And shout out to Brad Sham, the voice of the star, the voice of the Dallas Cowboys. Brad Sham, the legend, the walking legend. My thing is, Cowboy Nation, look, let me just give you guys this right quick. He said that the players didn't need to execute, right? That's one end. We're going to put the players needed to execute better. I can say Dak Prescott didn't play a hell of a game. He looked horrible. He looked trash out there to most that's in his chat box and beyond. But he said it's up to the players to perform and execute. But however, in his same talk track, in his same breath of talks, he talked about this right here. He said that the coaching have the players prepared. But however, they look tired. They look slow. They didn't look like they was ready. So at some point, there's a lie. You see, how can you have the players prepared and have the players ready, but they didn't look ready? You see, how can that even fit in the same category? Let me know, Cowboy Nation. Educate me. Put it out there on the universe, on Facebook. Put it out there on YouTube. How in the world did the players are prepared, but they're not looking prepared? How can that even be factual? The coaches prepare the players to play, but they don't look prepared to play. I'm lost for words. How can that even be possible? How can that even be possible? You know, I just don't know. They still on commercial break, so I just don't know. I tell you this, that let's just, since they are appeasing 105.3 the fan is saying that it's not the coaching issue, it's not the coaching fault. Let's just go ahead and sign Jason Garrett to a 5 to 10 year deal. Maybe he will coach better, and maybe he will understand that he's appreciated for all of the work that he's been doing to get these guys prepared. On the real, let's just go ahead and sign him for a 5 to 6 year or maybe a 10 year contract and get it over with. Stop dangling us around, because Jerry Jones just said before the game that the brilliancy of Jason Garrett is wonderful. He's a wonderful mastermind of a coach. So let's just go ahead and give it to him, Dan, you know, so that we can all be on the same page. Because at some point we have to look at it and say, okay, maybe it's easier to clean house. Let's not sign Cooper to his deal. Let's not sign Dak Prescott to his deal. And let's not sign Byron Jones to his deal, because on the defensive side, everybody's saying that Byron Jones need to go. He can't play. And on top of that, who else need to not play? Anthony Brown, of course, he didn't play tonight, but let's not re-sign him anyway. So let's not re-sign these guys. We're going to get rid of Sean Lee. Let's get rid of Byron Jones. Let's get rid of Dak Prescott. Let's get rid of Amari Cooper. And and let's bring in some new guys so that this coaching staff can have a better chance and an opportunity to prove all of us wrong that they are right and they can get this team to the Super Bowl. Let's just get rid of everybody. Let's get rid of the players and keep the coaches. How about that? Let's just do that. Maybe this thing can work out. Maybe it can be another 10 years, or maybe it can be 5 years. We can have a 5-year plan, a 5-year goal that we can work this thing out and get rid of all of these players. Because all I'm hearing is that it's the players' fault. So let's get rid of Cobb, let's get rid of Cooper, let's get rid of, Jason Witten, he needs to go. So we just get rid of Dak Prescott, and we can usher in maybe Cooper Rush. How idiotic do I sound, Cowboy Nation? Because this is what they're feeding us right now. That is what they feeding us. They saying that it's the players' fault. So let's just get rid of the players, because evidently you can't coach these group of players. So let's just get rid of them. That's what the caller, whoever called into 105.3 The Fan, since this coaching staff can't coach the players, can't prepare the players to play like they're not tired, let's just get rid of the players and have some new players out there. That will solve everything, Because all through the offseason, when Star Latuile was out there, let's go get him. Oh, no, he don't fit the scheme. Oh, when we needed a safety, let's go get this safety. Oh, he don't fit the scheme. You see what I'm saying? So at some point, we got to look in the mirror and say, to the reality of it is that we going to keep giving this coaching staff a leash, and we pouring upon everything, the message from the nation, from 105.3 The Fan, and whatever's is going to come out from .com, DallasCowboys.com, is saying that it's the players' fault. Well, let's put it on the players. Let's just get some new players, and keep Jason Garrett, and understand that we are 6-6 right now with the team that we got, because the players are overrated, It's not the coaching fault. It's not his fault.
They were trying to say, we got to stick together. Can't listen to things like that, right? Got to take these games. And Jerry said it. We got to do what we need to do to win one game and one game and one game and string together 4 or 5 wins in a row. Now, does he have confidence in that? He has confidence in the people that are here to be able to do it. And he said he wouldn't change anything that would have to do with us winning for love or money. So he was pretty adamant. He was behind Jason, basically said, Jason's got my back. And he got pretty emotional at the outset of when he was talking. And why? He said, well, we're frustrated, but, we got to stick together. So, they're going to stick together. And as Dak said in his deal, it's like we got 4 games to go. So, do you think after watching tonight they can win 4 straight? Probably not.
Right.
But the bottom line tonight was, these other losses they had, we can point to, well, it was a 2-point loss. It was a 4-point loss. Oh, bad calls on tripping. Tonight, they weren't good enough.
Right. Yeah.
They were not good enough. And that was plain and simple. And you're right with what you said previously. When it was 26-7, this was going to be their worst loss since they got beat in 2017 by the Chargers. As it is, it's their first loss, their worst loss since losing to Tennessee last year, 28-14. So they're not going to give up, but obviously if we play like this on Thanksgiving against a team that have to travel here, the signs don't look good going forward.
Mickey, you've done this a long time and seen a lot of these games, and what was it during this game that bothered you the
donation,
most
Natasha? Really appreciate
about what your eyes told you in this football game?
Some of the things that I thought they couldn't accomplish in other games. It was almost like a microcosm of their problems. Can't make field goals.
Sure.
Totally.
All right. And now one of them was deflected a little bit.
Was it the 35-yarder from the hash? Okay,
halftime.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
came funny out of there.
The guy from the back came in going like, and people can't see what I'm doing, but he was
motioning
his hands like it was tipped. And they don't record.
Appreciate
if
the donation.
It's not a block, then they don't record it. But I saw in the play-by-play it did say deflected by Latuile. But still. There's a reason why he got.
We didn't need him. We didn't want Star Latuile
punt last week and
when he was
field goal penetration this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting into the red zone and not finishing drives.
Right.
We've seen that before. That's haunted them. They got off to a fast start, but it didn't really matter since they gave up 26 consecutive points. And then some of the other stuff, not getting off the field on third down. We talked about it in the pregame show about worrying about a quarterback that can run, and he ran.
He sure did.
Right? And they ran. Another 100-yard game for them, rushing. Now, that's 10 of their 12 games they've rushed for 100 yards, and they couldn't stop them. I thought the thing that bothered me the most is that they had no answer for the blitzes that Buffalo was sending at them. And they sent a lot. Now, I don't know if that's their makeup and that's what they do, but they adjusted because early on they saw where, all right, we're not covering them one-on-one very well. And we're not stopping the run. So when we know they're going to pass, we got to go. And they were double blitzing, and the Cowboys had no answer. And as Dak said, the problem was we didn't make them pay for all the blitzing to back them off.
Yeah, I kind of look at it, and I was going to ask you about the defense. And to me, I put so much stock in this defense and what they could do, the talent on the front seven, the back end and all.
The linebackers
from
last
linebackers,
year, how well they played.
I think, and that's what I think. I wonder if that what on defense really bothers you? Because I was thinking that, man, this defense is going to find a way to get off the field. They're going to rattle this young quarterback. They're going to, they're going to do some things to him differently, but as you said, it's been really troubling all year long that they give up plays, they give up drives, they don't get off the field nearly enough.
And they just didn't play well. They weren't good enough for some reason. I thought Sean Lee did it. I didn't see the tackle total. I bet he's got double digits. Off the top of my head, he was kind of all over the place.
Sean number 12, good call. Yeah,
Jalen Smith 14, Sean Lee 12.
And not enough stops up front. The one drive that bothered me.
Appreciate you, awesome Cowboy fan. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Up at the 5-yard line.
Yep.
They were still up 7-0 at that time, I think. I'm trying. I don't have my
play. It was a great punt coverage and a fortuitous bounce on the punt.
And you know what they did, and I know they do this to try to get the rotation up front, but they brought in 4 backup defensive linemen.
Yeah.
The 4 backups, and the second play, Singletary goes 26 yards, and gets them out of the hole. And then they had another play, and then it was like, okay, you guys are out. We're back with
that was a bad sequence. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, you've got them backed up. Don't back off. Don't say, okay, this is a good time to bring in the other guys. And so that one bothered me that they kind of backed off on that. And even on the 3rd and longs, they let them, they let him complete passes or let Allen run to pick those things up. So, they just didn't play well enough. And I'll say it again, and I know Thompson had the sack on the blitz and everything, but they missed Jeff Heath back there. They missed him a lot. And they just didn't make plays. When I heard this incessantly, it's stuck in my head. Jimmy Johnson, when he'd be yelling at his defense, it's like, who's going to make the play? Who's going to make the play? Nobody made a play.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Two turnovers, no takeaways. Once again, another problem that they've had this year.
Appreciate you, Paul.
So,
man, really appreciate.
It was just
for making this thing happen.
Can I say it all? Around ass whipping.
Yeah.
Ass whipping. Yeah, say it.
Thank you, Mickey.
Okay, carry on.
Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com.
This is the player fault,
877-881-1053. 877-881-1053. Brian Broaddus, Ari Tepkin in the Miller Lite Club. Cowboys losing Thanksgiving 26-15. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
All right, they're going to a commercial break. And
Suafila, instead of blocking, was on the turf watching TV.
Suafila was all on their grass, man. And they kept on playing musical chairs with 52 and 76. Like, it was like, okay, just pick a player. Either you're going to be healthy or you're not. That's how I look at it. My thing is, Cowboy Nation, you see how Mickey made the reference to Jimmy Johnson? That's going all the way back. And that was the last time outside of Bill Parcells where we had a coach in here, you see. So we're not going to be making like 15, 20 years from now references of great coaching analogy with Jason Garrett. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, let's go ahead and put the fire in the torch to Jason Garrett now. I said that this decision should have been before the season, and we shouldn't be going around playing around with it. Look, the wonderful thing about life, and I got to give you this analogy. Either you're pregnant or you're not. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You can't be halfway pregnant. Either you're going to be pregnant or you're not. Either you can coach this Dallas Cowboys team or you can't. And my thing is, this Dallas Cowboys team demands greatness, basically. It demands greatness at the end of the day. And we not seeing that from what we're getting from this team right now. Shout out to you, Bubba, man. Was it Buddha? Yeah, we holding that L strong, man. There's a lot of L's in this thing. Are you taking any calls? This is from Andrea. Let me see how much time I got, because I don't have a lot. I got to kick back with family right at an hour. I told him I would be away for an hour. Let me just see if I can extend it for at least an overtime. I don't want to be locked up in my little office over here and not associating with family right now on a family day. But I got to talk to you all. You all my family too, right?
Smith with a
So what I'm going to do, I'll take a few phone calls. That's what I do. And then I'll roll up out of here since it's right at an hour. And that way all of the sponsors, quote unquote, will be happy. We can push this out to the podcasts and beyond and these sorts of things, and I can get back to family. How about that, huh? How about that? And really appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in. For those who got to do something, go ahead and split. But the phone number is 682-214-4087. That's the phone numbers at the top of your screen. Call me. Let me know what's on your mental. Let me know what's on your mind. Shout out to you, Andrea, though. 682-214. There we go. 202, man. Talk to me.
What's going on, Lodge? D2 Wavy in the chat.
Man, what's good, man? I'm glad I ate my Thanksgiving dinner before this game.
Me too, man. I ate mine around like 4, and I'm on Eastern.
Oh, yeah. You did the right decision.
Yeah, but I think our offense, our defense is mediocre, but they played good enough. Like last year, we allowed 1 30-point game. Against the Giants in the last week. This year, we allowed what? 1 also to the Green Bay Packers, right?
True.
I think our defense is playing. They're not getting takeaways. Like I watched Lamar Jackson play. He's throwing all his touchdowns within like the red zone. We're not getting those good field positions like he's getting from his defense. But what I'm trying to say is our offense is. I think you can blame this on Jason Garrett because like. At some point, we fired Scott Linehan. That was a scapegoat because it's not. Kellen Moore wants to do more with this offense, but then we revert back to Scott Linehan play calling, and Scott Linehan and Kellen Moore are using the same playbook. So I really can't. When you guys blame Kellen Moore, you can't blame them.
It's the same thing. All we doing is rearranging the furniture on the Titanic, and we thinking that, that looks good, but it's still going down. And when we look at Scott Linehan, he now to me personally, I'm not trying to put any praises towards Scott Linehan because he haven't proven anything outside of Dallas Cowboys land. Only I think a couple of years when he kind of like the old offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings when they had Randy Moss, for crying out loud. But here's the thing. Scott Linehan probably can draw better running plays than Kellen Moore. But they did do the toss sweep today. They did do the toss sweep. I was like, they did the toss sweep, baby.
Yep, and it gains yards because Zeke is good with those cornerbacks. He's good making them miss.
Right. I think he was averaging somewhere 5.1 yards per carry or something like some crazy number. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but then when we get down by like 2 scores, that what $15 million a year we pay Zeke goes out the window.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, but I think Kellen Moore, when they say like when you heard like at the beginning of the year and LTAs and when Jason Witten came back, he says we're basically running the same plays. Kellen Moore is just disguising them different. It's the same. It's the same playbook from last year. It's been the same playbook for a long time. like I watch a lot of film. I watch film. I watch what's that guy on NFL Network, Baldy or I forgot
Baldy, and watching Corrier's, man. His film breakdown, his film assessment of the man, it was really on point. This past film assessment, I was like, dang, the boy need to be on ESPN for real.
And so, but then I noticed they always run this one play, and I call it out every time in the red zone, where they run that out route with Jason winning this money, but it's so predictable, and that goes right back to Jason Garrett.
Yeah, it does, man. Any other thoughts, man, before I let you go?
No, that's all. Have a good Thanksgiving, man.
I'm going to try, man. Appreciate you, bro.
You too.
Salute. That was a good call, man. 682-214-4087, man. Rapid phone calls, man. We're going to try to limit it to like 2 minutes or so. 484, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Man, I'm doing better than I deserve right now. Talk to me.
Hey, what's your thoughts on I get what Jerry Jones is saying about keeping him. You still have a shot if you fire him now.
Right.
Things really get tough. But what do you think about I agree that Kellen Moore really isn't mixing it up. Everything's predictable, and then all of a sudden we get behind, and he gets almost desperate, forgets about Zeke, and starts zinging the ball or wanting to pass it. What if we, with Jason with his back against the wall, we know he was a decent offensive coordinator, let him take over play calling?
You talking about Jason Garrett being the offensive coordinator, just do everything himself?
Yep.
In a perfect world, you want that to happen. Just like when I want to say his name is John Harbaugh. One year he had his offensive coordinator was just doing a horrible job, and he said, forget it, man. I'm going to go down with the ship. I'm going to call the plays. I think he did it. Sean Payton did it before. But I think that with Jason Garrett, as long as he can excuse himself and say, hey, this is not my fault, I can deflect or reflect and say, hey, this is somebody else's issue, it can preserve him. It's all about self-preservation at this point. But that's just how I look at it. He just self-preservation, man.
Yeah, well, I think he knows his ship is already sinking, though, at the end of the season. I really do. I think that would be the only way that could save it, because he was fairly creative and did decent when he was the offensive coordinator. But Kellen Moore, he opened up good against the first 3 games against weak competition, and we automatically thought, okay, cool, here's our new offensive coordinator. But what's he done since then? Like the first possession.
Well,
we had looked good, and then all of a sudden we get in trouble, and he aborts his plan.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man, as I have to say this. When you have lack of experience, and it sounds like excuses, believe it or not, but when you have lack of experiences, you're going to get that. You're not going to get a guy that can make those adjustments on the fly. Kellen Moore is a on-the-training, on-the-job learning offensive coordinator. And then he's going to go back to his strong suits. He's not going to mix in some runs. He's not going to do those things. People look at Sean McVay. Yes, they 6-5, whatever their record is. I'm not following the what do he play for coaches for, the L.A. Rams or something like that?
Yeah.
People like to compare that, but he spent many of years being somebody's assistant, picking up some things. Although they're having a poor year this year, but I think that's the difference between the two.
And it makes you wonder how much Garrett might be holding Kellen back after those 3 games. Is that really what's going on? What happened to the run? What? Yeah. What? Yeah, you're right. What happened to the run pass option?
It don't exist.
And that was killer the last 3 years.
Yeah, that don't exist, man. But I really appreciate you. Any other thoughts before you go?
Nope, that's it, man. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, man. Salute, bro. All right, 682-214-4087, man. Give you guys about 1 to 2 minutes, man, so we can get these phone calls out the way. Hope that you all having a blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving. Although we lost, it's just to be one of those things to be thankful for. Let's see. Shout out to you, man. Talk to me. You live. 214.
Hello?
Yes, indeed. Talk to me.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? My name is Anthony out of Dallas. Been a big fan for many years, man. I just think that the Cowboys right now, obviously they're not a good come-from-behind team. Obviously we see when they play the Eagles, they had a little fire under them. They got to be scoring fast and scoring quick. Just real quick, man, I just think it's time for a coaching change. It has to be done, and I appreciate the time.
Oh, man, appreciate you, man. You have anything else, or that's it?
That's it right now, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, salute, bro.
No doubt. Thank you.
I agree with him, man. I agree with him. But the coaching philosophy if you change it now, I don't know, man. But let's see. 409, man, you live.
Hey, Law. This is Andrea Holder.
Hey, Andrea. Oh, holding it down on the Facebook panel. I really appreciate you for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, first of all, to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I'm from Beaumont, Texas, and I've been a long, hard Cowboy fan for all my life, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky to go see them play Philadelphia this year when they beat them in Dallas.
Wow.
And I had a lot of faith in them coming out of that game for winning.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a whole lot of problems that they really have to worry about.
What is the main issue or the concerns with you outside of the coaching philosophy? What do you have the major problems with the Dallas Cowboys team?
Well, first of all, is the coaching. I really believe that it's hard to say. He just it don't seem like he pumps them up enough and gets them going. They just don't seem like they're on fire anymore this year to continue winning ball games. If they get behind, they stay behind. It's hard for them to catch up and come out ahead, seems like. That's one of the big issues. They come out good, and then they fall, and then when they don't come out good and they start doing good, then they still fall. Seems like they still have problems.
Yeah, and it just seems like we don't have that consistent flow. And when I'm looking at this team, I look at everything like, man, we have the opportunity with the players with the talent, but the talent level does not equal what we see out there on the field as it relates to coaching and as it relates to just consistency, especially when we get into the money zone.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a whole lot that really needs to happen during the off season. I think that the real diehard Cowboy fans are tired of seeing the same old every year. I, for one, am.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have the talent, we have the players, but it seems like they're not using them to their capability in the right spot.
Yes, indeed.
Well, then you're out of luck. It's just a whole lot to fix at this point. And going in towards, going to the off season into wanting to make a run for the playoffs, it seems like it's impossible to be able to even begin to fix all the issues that they have. Now, maybe if they would have went through the bye week and corrected a lot of these issues and made a bigger run and started winning ball games, like a couple at a time. But they got 4 left, and if they do make the playoffs, I'm sorry, I don't see them going very far this year in the playoffs. Maybe win one if possible.
Oh my goodness! See, you're seeing what I'm seeing, and you're seeing what other Cowboys fans are seeing. We have so much talent, and it's not about us leading our division. It's not about us being 6-6 and being on top of our division. It's about when we get to the big dance. Can we dance? Can we make a move? You see, and you don't want nobody to fold up like a wallet. You don't like those little lawn chairs that fold up. You want something to be solid, right?
Right, and what's the point in even making it if you're not going to be able to win at least 2 or 3 of the playoff games? You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. You got anything else you want to put out to the nation before I let you go?
No, I just hopefully see things change. Going into next season, I hope to see maybe some better coaches, better coaching, players actually on fire to go out there and start doing great and continue through the whole game doing what they're supposed to do instead of letting their guard down and not completing the goal.
Yes, indeed.
And actually believe in themselves, for one thing. That's another big issue. They don't have, at this point, losing so many games in a row, it's like they've lost faith in themselves. It's pointless to them now.
Yes, indeed.
I mean,
man.
So, but I appreciate your time, and I love your show,
Oh.
and I appreciate you taking my call, and I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving and a very happy New Year.
You as well. Appreciate you. And still hold it down
Thank
over there on
you.
the Facebook side. Yes, really appreciate you. Salute.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. All right, that was a good call from Andrea, man. That was a real good call. Andrea. Yeah, really appreciate you. 413, you're live.
Hello?
You're live. What's going on? Talk to me. Help ease my mind, man. Take me
It ruined my Thanksgiving, man.
Did you eat before the game?
I ate. I actually was at work watching the game. I left on my break and saw the bull crap that was going on.
I wish you could see my inbox, man, on Instagram.
Man, I'm just tired of the mediocrity. We can't keep coming out like this. It's sickening to watch. It's real life sickening to watch. We can't. We come out. Either we start fast and then we die out, or we come out slow and then we pick up in the middle of the game. Garrett got to go. We can't keep going through the same mediocrity, and then they tease us with a good season and get our hopes up, and we still lose.
Yeah,
something has to give.
Something has to go, man. Hold on. Is it the players' fault? Is it the coaching fault? Is it Jerry Jones' fault? Is everybody's fault?
I'm holding Dak accountable. I hold Dak accountable. He got to quit with the turnovers.
Yeah. He reminded me by him holding on to the ball, those sacks, fumbles, or strip for sacks. Well, what he was doing a little bit last year before we got Amari Cooper. You remember that?
But before we got Cooper, he's reverting back to that. Like, he dug himself out of that early in the season, and it's like he's falling right back into it.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't his best game, especially when we had the momentum on our side. And I think we had a drive where it was like, okay, we finally got the ball back, and I think was it a fumble first or was it an interception?
It was. I think it was a screen interception you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Dak, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're better than this. I'm saying I'm one of the biggest. Dak, you can get the money. You can get the money.
Right.
But it's like you can't keep making these mistakes, and then it's like the Eagles have a way easier division than us, so it's like the rest of their 4 games is cakewalk compared to ours. We got to play playoff caliber teams the rest of the go. So we needed this win, and now it's like I don't even know what this team is gonna do no more. Like, I'm just tired of watching the same stuff.
Yeah. Me and my guy Big Game James, we saw this a mile. We saw this a mile away, man. We saw it like God. We were talking to each other before the game.
Let you know, man. I watch you, Vach, Okoye, Foots. You guys do it for me, man. You keep me up. Even on these days like this, when I'm down, I watch your film breakdown, and you be spot on, man. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you're enjoying your day.
Man, really appreciate you, man. Salute, bro. Let me get somebody else in, man, but I really thank you, though. Thank you for calling.
All right, have a nice day.
Salute. All right, 682-214. Let me see how long I've been going live on this thing so that we can get on out of here, man. But I really appreciate you all for calling in. 469, man, what's on your mind?
What's going on, Lau? This is B-Rob, man.
B-Rob in the house, man. That big Rob, man. What's good with you, man? Talk to me.
Not much, man. I just wanted to say, first off, I've been following you for a minute now. You, Okoye, Vach, y'all, Foots, y'all do it for me, bro. Like, just to break down film.
You said the exact same thing the last caller said. I really appreciate it, man. And this is what I like. This is what I like, bro. Rob, I like the fact that we all have different views, different opinions, and we're not scripted. You can go get a little flavor from Okoye. He's right there in the heart of Philly. You see what I'm saying? My guy Vach, man, we from the same hometown. Well, look, our population is like 25,000. You see, Natchez, Mississippi, from the same hometown. Then you get my guy Foots. You see what I'm saying? And then you get Mark Holmes with the voodoo doll. You get all this stuff, man.
too.
Yeah. You get all this stuff, man. There's some more other people too that do this, man. But what's on your mind, though?
Man, right now, I mean, of course, I'm frustrated like all the other Cowboys fans. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we can say, the players didn't execute, but my thinking is for 10 years, the one consistency that we've had for 10 years is Jason Garrett. And I'm not understanding how we continue to blame Dak, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he had a bad game, I understand. But Jason Garrett has been here for 10 years. We had multiple great players, good players, whatever you want to call it. It's been 10 years, bro. And at this point, I'm just sick of the same thing over and over. It's the same result every year. It's just time for a change. Now, don't get me wrong. We're 6-6, yeah. I would love to just finish out this season and see what happens. I'm not giving up on it, but at the same time, man, if nothing gets done this year, it's got to be a change. And that's just how I feel about it.
It got to be. Matter of fact, it must be a change.
Yeah, it must be a change.
Yes,
Definitely.
indeed, man. Because I just look at the talent, man, and I hate to bring up his name at this point because I know I'm gonna hit a segment of population of people that say, "Hey, stop living in the past." But Jimmy Johnson was right on point. I think that Jimmy Johnson said this morning that he can really take this team to the Super Bowl. I was sitting there thinking like, man, if I could just drive down to L.A. right now, I could fly to L.A. From Dallas to L.A. is about $130, give or take, if I go on Spirit Airlines. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Spirit Airlines. Although they have them folding chairs as chairs. But you ever flow Spirit, man, they got folding chairs as chairs. I think that I can find Jimmy Johnson, strap him down, and bring him back to Dallas and see if we can get Jimmy Johnson to recoach this team, man. Just have him in the locker room.
I would help you, man. Right now, I would help you right now and go do that.
Yes, indeed, man.
Man. But that's all I had to say, man. This is my first time calling. I always been in the chat boxes, but I appreciate you, man. And hey, we gonna ride this thing up.
Let's ride it out, man. Let's ride it out, man, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Salute. Anybody else want to call in? Let me see how long I've been going. Boy, hotline 1 minute and 20, 1 hour 20. So what's up? 803, you're live. What's good?
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, what's going? Nothing, man. We just 6-6 right now. We still going to the Super Bowl, right?
No, I don't think so.
What you got for the show, man?
Yeah, it just if you think about it, though, I've been a fan of yours watching the show. It's just the fact that we are it's like a media fan. Every week, the media say something, we do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it. They say we don't pass, then we run. They say we run too much with Zeke, then we pass. So it's like we are a team that listens to whatever the media says. Then we do that for that game and we blow it.
Yeah.
Cause they think about it. They said Cooper didn't get no targets. What the first thing they did at the game? Target Cooper. So that's media says that.
Yeah.
So we are listening to what the media says. Then we play their game and try to play our offense by what they're saying. So it's need to change. Garrett is cool. He's all right, but it needs a change from top to bottom, man.
Need a change from top to bottom. I think that here's the thing. It's probably be all on Jerry Jones, really, because he's the GM. Just think about it. If he was like another person, right? Let's say Jerry Jones was never the GM. The GM hires or put the coaches in places, right? So what would happen here is the GM will draw out a goal plan, meaning that we should win this amount of games or we should be at this amount of, respect throughout the league or have these amount of playoff wins or what have you. That what the GM will sit down with the head coach about and say, okay, head coach, you got to pick out your offensive coordinator. You got to pick out your defensive coordinator, your philosophy of your defense and your philosophy of your offense or special teams. Ultimately, by that type of level of understanding of the game that we don't have is an issue because Jerry Jones would never fire GM Jerry Jones, you see.
Exactly.
And the pressure from the GM to the to the head coach is never there because he's handpicked. The GM handpicked because we're going to move the owner out the way. The GM handpicked this person to be the head coach. So at some point, he's not going to look at this and say, hey, this is my fault. I'm going to fire the coach, you see. Because even if he does, it's something that's going to be like, I'm going to figure out a way to give my person a second, a third, or fourth, or fifth chance because this is my opportunity to elevate and say that I'm right, you see. That's how I'm looking at it. So we should, instead of hashtag fire Jason Garrett should be trending, it should also, to couple that, should be hashtag fire the Dallas Cowboys GM. Somebody need to start that wave, and maybe Jerry Jones can see the issues and the flaws of his decisions.
And you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Because actually he shouldn't have fired Jimmy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He was winning, and he want credit. What credit? You gonna get credit? You the owner. He fired Parcells too quick because he won the credit. So he wants people that he can say that's his thing and take the credit. I mean, it's time to just lay back. You old, you're getting old, or you're already old. Just let it be, man.
Let it be. Just let it be. And people are going to circumvent it. And the media, the Dallas media, will say that Jerry Jones didn't fire Jimmy Johnson, that he walked away because he was flirting with the opposition or flirting with the Jacksonville Jaguars and at some point flirting with Miami Dolphins or something like that. We know what the real deal, people that really can understand and see through that BS, we know what the real deal was. Jerry Jones had, just like when Bill Parcells walked away, it's the exact same reason why Jimmy Johnson walked away.
Exactly. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
And I will go to my grave. I will go to my grave thinking and believing that following year in 2007, if Bill Parcells was coaching this team, we would never went to Cabo. We would never play that porous against the New York Giants. And on top of that, Bill Parcells would wanted to get back at the Giants anyway. So he would have probably stuck it to him and twist the knife and continue to play with that mentality of winning. But that's a story of a different day. Yeah. But I really appreciate you for calling in. Anything else you got on your mind or mental?
Yeah, just one quick question with the defense. I watch a lot of games because I got like 3 or 4 TVs in my house. And the Buffalo quarterback, I've never seen him play that well against teams. I've seen New England make him look like he's a high school quarterback. I've seen the Jets make him look bad. It seems like we make teams' quarterbacks look real good, like
Driscoll,
the Detroit quarterback,
Driscoll,
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, me and Big Game James pointed that out. Yeah,
and then a week later, he ain't even starting. So it just we got to, from defense, everybody needs to go. Thanks a lot for the phone call. I'm gonna keep on your channel, and thanks for the call, man.
Man, really appreciate you for following, man. Salute.
Thank you, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Good call from the 803, man. All right, Cowboy Nation, we got 4 more minutes. Anybody else want to call in and put down what's on your mind and mental? Just please do 682-214-4087. Really appreciate you all. As much as I get frustrated and angry and upset about everything, this was a game that we should have won. This was a game that we should have competed in. But however, we folded up like a lawn chair. So hopefully the next game we go on the road, maybe we can put some things together and we can find a W. We need 4 W's in a row. Or we need for the Eagles to lose 4 in a row. However it's going to go. The Eagles got a porous schedule. They got to play against the mighty Miami Dolphins. We'll see what they're going to do. Maybe I've seen some stranger and crazier things happen before. But this type of team, the type of team that we have, I do know that a lot of people look towards the aspect of this particular team not being talented, and they say, well, the coaching can't coach these guys. Nah, it's baloney. Well, I see talent when I look at this team. I see talent. That's all I can look at when I see this thing. But somebody said bring in Chuck Norris, bring in Van Dam, bring in Fred Flintstone. You think that Fred Flintstone can get this team to 6-6? Huh? Do y'all think that Chuck Norris can get this team to 6-6? I think James Simmons in the chat probably can get this team to 6-6. Wayman, appreciate you, Jackson, for tuning in as well on the Facebook Elite panel. All right, 267, you're live. What's going on, 267?
Hey, what's up, Law, man? This is Al from Philly, one for each finger, bro.
What's good, fam? How you feeling today, man?
Hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to grade them as a D- overall.
Ooh, I forgot you're the grader. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you something. I think the team, first of all, not only Garrett lost the team, I think Jerry lost the team. And what I really feel first and foremost is, because I was rushing to get to your segment, I want Jerry to step down and demote himself first and foremost.
Right.
He needs to decline. Like, he needs to take away a lot of his responsibilities, man, and just take just stay in one direction. And be the businessman that he is, and hire a true GM. And hey, they want to promote within? Okay, fire Garrett and promote Richard as interim right now. I guarantee you'll see a spark. Everybody's called, get rid of the defense, gut them, do this. No. We're one coach away from being great. You understand? One coach, a whole new horizon, man, another set of eyes and another set of ideas. So put this train on the right track, and I guarantee you we'll smoke through this season. You see, we were one wide receiver away from just going on a run last year. We incorporated Amari, and we saw what happened. Why can't Jerry just say, okay, enough is enough. I'm just adding a little bit too much of myself into this. Let me pull back. Let me just test the waters here. Okay? Garrett is out of the way. I have reduced roles here and make it known publicly. He has to keep us fans happy, because if he don't, we're going to hurt his pockets. And if we hurt his pockets as a businessman, then what do? You start looking for ways to keep money coming. He talking about earlier, we can be in 6th place and I'll still make money. When I heard him say that, I said, you know what?
Yes. You heard me when you bring that back up. Yeah, oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I said a wise man and a fool in his money will soon part. That's what I said. If he thinks like that, no wonder we're getting what we're getting out of him. We'll always be right there, but we will not make it over the hump if this man does not see that we need a whole new mindset, a coaching mindset. Our defense is there.
But here's the thing, though, fam. We have been generating positive revenue and remunerations since 1995. Even though I say live like 95, this between that time frame and now, Jerry Jones has been introduced into the coaching or whatever it is Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame. On top of that, he not only built a $3.5 billion playpen that's down here in Arlington.
That is correct.
And if you live around this area, you'll know how horrible the road conditionings are and how close it is to Six Flags. It's a horrible infrastructure. And then on top of that, so everybody paying high taxes, so they hate Jerry right now down there in Arlington. But everybody else, when we look at the big stadium, it looks lovely. And then on top of that, he got a $3.2 billion or $5 billion, whatever you want to say, workout facility in Frisco. He bought those two major purchasing items. He bought a helicopter. He bought a yacht that more money than we can ever see. So you think that he's feeling what we feeling after this loss?
No, he's not. He told us. Listen, the message was there, Law.
Yes.
If he can come in 6th place, man, and he'll still be all right.
Right on the money.
He gave it to us raw and real. And if we as a fan base can't see and understand what this man is saying, then we all need to cut ourselves. You understand? Hell, I stopped. Listen, I love my boys. You know, and I live in Philly. Got 2 trucks with Dallas Cowboys all over them, driving through the streets of Philly. Okay? Matter of fact, I ain't going to go there with a person. No, you know what? When I left Dallas, I came to Philly by way of family members, and we got into real estate. I became a police officer for the city of Philly. Okay? They hate me because I got my Dallas star on my chest, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm like, and I've since left them and did my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
But let me tell you something, man. Dallas Cowboy, I true to the blood. But what I just don't get is watching from afar. I went to our Super Bowls, 4 of them. I remember my father taking me to the first one. Okay, we won that one. I've been to the back-to-backs. You know what I mean? I did all of that. And just over the years, just seeing our dynasty just fall at the hands of a man that says, okay, I accept mediocre. I accept it. So fans, you accept it too. Oh, you're still going to buy the merchandise. You know what? I still buy the merchandise every year after the season. You know what? I'm going to stop buying the merchandise. That's what I say. I'm going to do something to make a statement. But I still buy it because I love my boys. But something, somehow, some way, maybe it's I hate to say it, maybe it's the death of Jerry Jones that's going to turn the tables for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. But I know we need a new set of eyes. Fresh look, fresh outlook on everything. Okay? And I guarantee you, we'll be all right. Several years.
One for each finger, man. Hey,
yes.
This is the thing before I let you go. If you think that Jerry Jones is stubborn, Stephen Jones is just as stubborn.
That's the thing. We're going to look at another era of him, a dawn of a nightmare era.
Right.
After Jerry, here comes Stephen knocking on the door with the whole new set of BS. It's just in a different color.
Yes,
and it's going to sound better.
It's going to sound better. All. But that's Stevie Jones, boy. We love him. We love him.
Of course. Okay. Stephen don't play that. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, no, that's Jerry's talk. But no, Stephen ain't going to play that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Stephen's going to play it. Trust me. And when his father kicked the bucket, we're going to just see how much he's going to play it. Right. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, we're not in trouble. We're just sitting there like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Now, we're won again, lose again. Win again, lose again. That's our identity. It's become our identity. But you know what?
Talk to me.
If we win out and then start the clock at 0, who knows? We may just do this playoff dance and go deep. Who knows? I don't know. But I tell you one thing.
If we went out, that would put us right at probably the wild card. We will play. Yeah. We'll have a home game. We will probably play either the Seattle Seahawks. And one can say that, we kind of got them last year. It was a hard-fought game. So who knows?
We got the Saints last year, too. But look.
So we've seen crazier things, man. But one more thing before you go. You give the nation one more thing, and I'll probably take one more call. What you got?
Oh, I'm sorry, people. Listen, just come to my channel, man. See my video, one for each finger. I love this. Law, I love what you're doing live like 95. I even got me a pair of sneakers to say that now. But let's keep it up, man. We got to stick together, Cowboy Nation. One love to everybody. We're going to see this thing through, man. Just come check me out, though. One for each finger on YouTube, and I guarantee you'll like my content. I'm growing, too.
Salute.
All right, guys.
Let's grow.
Hey, y'all be good, man.
Salute. One more call, man. We get on out of here, man. 682-214-4087. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, Ricky Rodriguez. Shout out to you, Twin City Jazz. And who else? 919. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on there, buddy?
Well, at least I ate my Thanksgiving meal before the game.
Man, I almost threw up my Thanksgiving meal after watching that game.
Yes,
I absolutely did, man. The last caller that called in, pretty much hit it dead on the nail as far as going with JJ. But here's something that people got to understand.
My bad, fam. Turn your radio down just a little bit so we won't hear that reverb. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you good. You sure world. I'm just trying to pay rent, man.
Pride goeth before the fall.
Right.
I think they said in the Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the Bible. Mm-hmm. And when you have an owner who has made the same critical and dumb mistakes for over 20-some plus years, and he sees the real problems, and he sees what truly is needed to be done, but because of his pride and his son's pride, he just simply refuses to make the changes possible. And when you have someone who is so determined to believe that, I mean, the writing was on the wall. When you fire a head coach that wins you back-to-back Super Bowls, I don't think that's ever even been heard of in the NFL. A coach being fired after winning back-to-back titles. For me, there are so many problems with this team that my head it throbs, you know. And I said this to someone. I have been a Dak supporter for I don't know how long, and I really have. And I've been kind of patient with this young man for quite some time. But it seems like ever since Ezekiel Elliott has gotten paid, it seems like Dak is on this mission to believe that somehow he can be the new superhero and that somehow he doesn't need Zeke. And it's apparent because tonight, and it also tells you where our coaching staff is. I don't know if people are just scared to coach or what's going on, but the Buffalo Bills shut down our passing game. And it was clear that the running game was wide open to do so many things to be able to move that ball and keep the pace going and giving ourselves a chance to win. But we still wanted to become pass happy when it really wasn't there. And we still got Dak doing the same fundamental stuff that he knows that he should not be doing, like holding the ball longer than he should, not throwing the ball away when needed, running the ball when it's necessary. Now, he went and waited until we got down yet again, I think 1 or 2 scores. And then he started realizing, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to tuck this ball in and start running. But why now wait when you're down, when you need to do the same thing that the Bills did to us?
The Cowboys and Golden Gate Warriors with Mark
Jackson.
It's what we should
have done. It's like they're telling us what to do and we won't do it. It's like, you know what? I'm really thinking about wondering if the coaches shouldn't give a Rush a shot. Maybe by playing some mental mind games with Dak, saying, okay, you know what? You still want to hang on to those fundamentals that you know that you shouldn't be doing, that helps you turn the ball over, that makes you make those mistakes where you're trying to ask an owner to pay you $40 million. Well, we're already 6-6. Why don't I try Cooper Rush and see if he's hungry enough to do the things that needs to be done as a quarterback? He may not have the best arm. He may not have this, but if the guy is smart, as people say, and maybe he's smart enough to make the right plays to be able to move those chains and use a weapon like Zeke and Pollard to help us. Because right now, it was just no excuse why Dak played the way that he did. And I'm a Dak fan, but Dak did not play. He just played horrible to me tonight. And it's like he was making mistakes that he did his rookie year. Now, I don't know if it's because he's upset because everybody was talking about the offense goes to Zeke. But ever since the news has been talking about this is when I've been noticing that Dak, no matter whether the running game is going or not, they want to be more pass happy. And right now, teams are starting to catch on to that And they realize, hey, the coaching staff is not going to make adjustments, so let's shut down the pass offense and let's see if they're actually smart enough to be able to stay in the game by utilizing different play sets to bring in their. And so far, nothing.
All right, so you got some valid points, but I would have to recall that Cooper Rush in preseason and then out there during training camp, he just wasn't lighting it up for us, and I don't think that you're going to get the longitude and latitude that you would want to see out of Cooper Rush at this big of moment. His arm is not really that tight and right, but I will say this though. This offseason going into this situation, I think that this team would benefit for having a veteran backup quarterback, maybe that can put some little pressure on it, because we've been saying that even with the days of Tony Romo, we needed somebody to put the pressure behind them so they won't feel I guess enabled not to make mistakes or privy to not making mistakes, or whatever that word is. But my thing is with this coaching staff, if you look at it, what was Jason Garrett when he played for the National Football League? What was he?
A quarterback.
Okay. What was Kellen Moore?
A quarterback.
Okay. So and even when we bring in John Kitna, he's just a quarterback himself. You got a lot of quarterback high influence on his team. So quarterbacks are going to do what quarterback thinks that they need to do best, and that's going to be throwing the ball around, especially when they get a little pressure. So that's why I always like defensive-minded head coaches. I think that they have better analogies of the game or better pursuit to the game collectively. So my thing is, I'm not going to put out there and say, okay, Cooper Rush would do a better job than Dak Prescott, but I will say this, though. Put a little pressure on the Dak Prescott, maybe you see him perform better. Also, bring in a coach that would challenge not just Dak Prescott, but everybody that's on that fray, meaning all 53 guys, your job is always in questioning. And I think that Jimmy Johnson was able to do that.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. And that's the key that I'm saying. I'm not saying that Rush is clearly better than Dak, and I hear you. My point of it is maybe we need to figure out a way to get Dak's attention by saying, hey, look, you know what you need to do to take this team to the next level. So I don't know what it is that's got you hung up mentally, but you never know what a man can do when he gets a true chance, right? Mm-hmm. And so my thing is, whether it's Rush or whatever, or whoever it is, we need to light a fire. If we're going to be forced to have Dak Prescott as our quarterback, okay, then maybe we need to find somebody good enough that can really scare him enough to say, you know what? Yeah, I need to run this ball more. I'm not calling the plays right. I'm not challenging enough to know what we need to do to win. You know what I'm saying?
But hold on before you say your speech on this one. I gotta pull out what Vern says. I would like for us to draft a quarterback like Lamar Jackson type. Here's the thing. If we were to draft Lamar Jackson, we could have drafted Lamar Jackson before LVE. You know, we had a chance and opportunity to. But you know what the Cowboys staff would have done with Lamar Jackson? They would have made him and forced him to play in the pocket. They would have forced him to do what quarterbacks naturally do. You got to have somebody that's able to look at a person's skill set and say to themselves, okay, this is what you do best. This is what we're going to build around, you see. Because football, in a natural scheme, in a natural world of things, you don't have luxuries of 5 to 10 years to work out the problems. You only have, supposedly, in a natural world, without your daddy hiring you as the head coach, you only have 2 to 3 years to get this thing right, you see.
Right, so exactly, Harbaugh, brother. Exactly.
Yeah. So Harbaugh, he didn't have the longitude and latitude. Yeah. Because think about this. Go ahead.
And I'm saying this, but this is what Dak is, and that's what frustrates me. I get that he wants to become a better player, and let me tell you something about Baltimore's quarterback. You're right; it's working right now. It worked for the Redskins too with RG3 until he got hurt. Once he got hurt, he never became. So my thing is, it's all right to be a running quarterback at times. I'm not saying run Dak on every single play. But what we got to do is be smart enough and balance our offense out. Right now, we have just become so pass happy that we're forgetting we got another weapon in the backfield that we can use and do so much more than just run them in the middle. Run them in the middle. Run them in the middle. The outside is open. The screens is open. It's so many more plays that we can use. It's like we can probably take the pressure off of Cooper more if we use Pollard and Zeke in the right way. But and then Dak as well, because Dak has both the legs and the arm to be a well-balanced quarterback, but we don't do it until it's too late, and I don't understand why. But my thing is, we do need to put a competition under Dak. As long as Dak don't feel like his job can be taken, I think that was when we will find out if Dak is truly serious about becoming that next-level quarterback, or if he's all about the money. If we can't find a quarterback this year, or let's either draft or find one that will indeed put a fire under him, and then we'll find out if we truly have that quarterback that can take us to the next level, or we got to figure out to be able to look. Because right now, Dak has been there way long enough now not to make those fundamental mistakes that he did tonight.
Yes, indeed, man. I really appreciate you for calling in, man. You're a long-time caller, man. So I really appreciate it, man. Listen to
now, man. No doubt. But I had to get that off my chest, man.
I know, man. I feel you, man. But let's go, man. Let's go, man. Really appreciate you.
All right, man. Y'all hold it down. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, indeed. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, so that concludes the show today. I really appreciate you all. My guy from the 919, he all the way from Carolina. He calls in after every show, and unfortunately, I got to get ready to go. I done abandoned my family long enough. So I would say this. I hate losing. Everybody knows that I'm a sore loser. But I will say congratulations to the Bills, though. You know, I'm a sore loser. I don't like to lose. I don't like the taste of defeat. But moments like this, especially if I don't have any control of it and I'm just rooting, all I got is my passion, right? And all I got is my enthusiasm. That's all I got on this thing, you know. We hate losing, though. And then I can look at the flaws and the faults, and I can look at other teams with less talent winning, and that's the reality, man. That's just like, you know. But somehow, one way or another, maybe next week, we can figure out a way to pull through and get a win against the Chicago Bears. But here's the thing. I said, me and Big Game James, we said this right quick. Shout out to you, William. Shout out to you, Paul, man. And he said, let me call in. Oh, my goodness, Paul. I had the phone lines open, man. Hey, the phone line is open 24/7. You guys can leave a voicemail message, and I can maybe hit you back from there. Shout out to you, Suzette, that's on the Facebook panel, and Emmanuel. The Chicago Bears, Montgomery, he can run in between the splits. He can run in between the tackle, catches the ball out of the backfield. Cohen, however you say that man's name as well. Tariq, I believe that's his name. He's a short, small, shifty guy that can catch the ball and get to 0 to 100 real quick. This is the thing. If we were scared of Driscoll, their quarterback that we got to play against with the Chicago Bears, although he's not the accuratest quarterback, or however you put that in sentences together, he can still kill you with those legs. So it's going to be a lot of dump off passes. They can do everything to beat the Dallas Cowboys because they can play good, solid defense up front. Their secondary is very suspect, but they do got my boy Eddie still back there roaming. He's a safety that can make plays and jump on the ball. So if you think that we just going to come up there and just beat down the Chicago Bears, you got another one coming for you. You do. And shout out to my guy Jay Form, always holding it down. He said 9-7 at the beginning of the year. It looks like we on pace for that. I said 10-6. Let's see who wins, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all. Thank those who made the donation. They have wrote a nation, man. Thank those who joined the membership packages, man. I really appreciate you all that's here. Shout out Tom. Shout out to Paul, George, Natasha. I bring it, man. Really appreciate you, Keith, and Williams, and Paul again. Hey, here's the thing. Just because we all don't agree with each other, just because we got different thoughts, different think patterns, and these sorts of things, doesn't mean that we have to hate one another, right? We it's okay for us to disagree. This is just only entertainment, right? So At the end of the day, we're not running out there. We're not making the plays. But we should be able to voice our opinions and our thoughts out there. And we should demand excellency. I can't even talk today. We should demand greatness, you see. We need a dang on tight end. This is from French. JP, yes, we do, man. We need somebody to help us out. Let's see if I can play my outro music and get on out of here. Give me some more water because I done drunk up all my water here. And let's get this thing going one way or another. Oh, my goodness, man. I hate losing, man. I do, man. I do. I hate losing. I hope the players feel the same way. I hope the owner somehow one day will feel the same way. But it's hard to feel what we feeling when he gets a check for billions of dollars, though. Once I find my outro music, I'm getting out of here for real. It's just crazy, though. Where's my outro music? Where are you? See, I can't even see. I'm losing my outro music, man. I can't even find that. How about that, huh? All right, let me see. Oh, I didn't bring it up today. Let me just play this one then. It's crazy, though, Cowboy Nation. And my phone is steady ringing. People texting me, how about them Cowboys? All this stuff, Yeah. And this is what we supposed to accept, Jerry Jones? This is what we supposed to feel? We supposed to be proud about this? But they say a prize fighter continue to swing blows, continue to fight even when he's down, even when the pitfalls of this world is all against you, right? Let's hold our head high, Cowboy Nation. I hate it, but let's go. Yeah, Curtis, it does. This one hurt, man. DC for life, all day, every day. Ricky, I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm pissed off too, man. Yeah. Chastity, what's good? Jasmine, you gonna have to call back. Yeah, you call back. Power Gaming, shout out to you all, man. Hope you guys go to the Super Bowl. But let me say this about the Bills, though. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. But maybe the Bills can get them one, right? Shout out to them. We still breathing. We still alive. Yo, let's go. It's all good. Let this whole track play out, baby. Talk amongst yourselves, right? Cooper cried? No, he didn't cry, didn't he? I can't deal with this, man. I can't deal with these memes, man. We shall rise again, Nick Blue. Yes. Always a lady. Really appreciate you. Rocky says Dak is the problem. I don't know, man. What would be the solution there? We pointed out the problem. What would be the solution? What's up, C? Shout out to you. What would be the solution? Let's go. What would be the solution, Cowboy Nation? That's what I want to know. I want to know what would be the solution, right? As I gather my thoughts, man, as I go. Hot boys, soft boys. They need to take away that name, Hot Boys, and they need to take away Purge Squad. Just be the Cowboys. What's wrong with being the Cowboys? I'm going to look at the locker room. I'm going to look at all of these interviews, man. This is my game plan. I do not watch ESPN, NFL Network for a couple of days. I'll be back. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Don't y'all watch this stuff, man. Yeah. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. It hurts, though. It hurts. But we're going to figure out a way, right? That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Hate losing. Right. go. Hakeem, really appreciate